Hey everybody! Today we'll be working on my washing machine. I happen to have a Maytag 3000 series front loader. And what has happened with this washing machine is the water valve has gone bad. So when you're using it, water keeps trickling in and it overfills the drum with water. These things use very little water. And this valve went bad one other time, probably about 5 years ago, and it filled this up with water to about here. These things are not supposed to have a lot of water in them when they use. They have just enough to get the clothes wet. And then it drains that water out and lets more water in to do a rinse cycle. And there's something wrong with the valve. It's letting too much water in. It's probably the same thing. The valve's gone bad. So we're going to go ahead and replace the valve. So as you see, I got it all cleaned off up top. I've got the unit unplugged. First thing we're going to do is, well, my wife has already got it cut off. So on would be toward me. So she's got the water cut off. So we'll pull the washing machine out. And on this one here, there's screws or little bolts back here. And then this top slides back and pops off. And the top comes off and the water valve should be here. And the cold water inlet is here and here. Let me get the unit pulled out and we'll start looking at it. So we started pulling the washing machine out to get so I can get behind it. And we moved the dryer out of the way. And this is the water drain hose that fits down in the drain there. And as you can see, it's got a lot of buildup on it from the washing machine suds and the soap. And I don't know if you can really see in there, but it's getting kind of cloggy in there and cloggy in there. So it wouldn't be a bad idea while you have your washing machine out to pull your hose out and clean it up. And then, of course, we're cleaning up behind here from all the lint from the dryer that gets put behind the washing machine. So we got a bucket of hot soapy water, and I cleaned the walls and cleaned up down here and vacuumed the back of the washing machine just because it hasn't been done in years. Probably a good idea to come back here and do it. And like I showed you the drain hose earlier, if you look in here, I want to show you this. Look at the scum that is soap and dirt and grime is getting all caught up in this drain. So I'd highly recommend when you do any work on your washing machine to clean out the drain. So now we can get back to the job at hand. We got it all cleaned up. Mrs. G is cleaning out the hose for me. So we have two T20 torque bits that take out this screw. Three screws at the top. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the top should just slide back and off it comes. So there's the back of the machine. Not the back, the top of the machine off. And we still have to disconnect the water lines. And I had the machine unplugged. So let me show you inside. So we have, this is the water connection that runs from the valve up into the soap and the fabric softener tray. Because when this machine fills, it comes in the back, through the tube, mixes here, in, through this, and then into the tub. So now we need to get the hoses off the back of the machine, and then we need to get in here and get the two electrical connections off, this hose off, and on this one here, there is one screw right there that holds the water valve in. So let me get these lines disconnected and into a bucket so the water doesn't go all over the place, and I will come back. Alright, so now we have to disconnect the two wire connections here. And how do you do that is you take a small screwdriver and you pry up on that, and then they unplug. And then pry up and unplug. So there's the two electrical connections. This hose has to come up, but it's kind of hard to get to. So what I'm going to do, instead of disconnecting it there, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it here to make it easier to get out. Once I get that disconnected, then I'll come over here and take the one screw out, and this unit should come right out. So let me get this other hose connection disconnected. Slide that back. Give this a little tiny twist so it's loose. Wiggle it. Okay, so it's off. And there's a little plastic piece in here which must restrict the water flow so it doesn't blow in too fast. So you want to make sure that doesn't fall out. So now that that's all done, now you get your what was it, T20? T20. Your T20, and you remove your T20 out of there. And then the valve just pulls out. There's not even anything on the other side that actually holds it in. Alright, so let me get this hose connection off to switch to the new one, and we'll start to reinstall. Okay, before I go any farther, here is the new one, and there is the old one. And they look like they match up, so the only other thing you want to do is look inside the connection. The connection can only go one way. They have these slots, and the wires can only go in one way, so you don't have to worry about getting them confused. And they look right. So I pulled the clamp back. We're going to go ahead and switch the hoses over to the new one. Go ahead and put your hose clamp back on. There we go. Hose clamp back on. So now it's ready to go back in this way. And that screw goes in this hole here. And I thought that this thing slid in, but I don't even think it slides in. I think it just fits in there. That one screw holds it. So let's go back over here. Get you lined up. So then the water valve just tucks back in here. Back in. Actually, right here, there's a edge and the edge, and those two edge actually fit in the holes, and that's what holds it in place. So when you stick it back in the hole, then you pull it over, and that lines your hole here to get your screw back in. And I put the screw and the tool here. So let's go ahead and get this screw back in. Okay, that screws in and tight. And now the two electrical connections, they just plug right back in. And they're in. So then you put your water connection back on there. And now you need to get your pair of pliers. To get that back on there. So we almost have that all back together. So now we can might as well just go ahead and put the lid back on, which it sits there and slides forward. I got an ink pen out because I was going to mark which way the electrical connections go, but they can only go in one way. And I got it on my finger and I got it on the top there. Oh well. So then, once again, you take your 3 screws. There goes one on the floor. There's the first one. Second one. And the third one. And like I said, right there, that is what is holding it in from this being pushed back in. Right there, it catches in the back cover. So the cold water's on this side, the hot water's on this side. Luckily, it's got these nice little things that hold your lines. I probably should change the O-rings in there, or the washers, but I don't have any. But I want to get it up and running. Maybe tomorrow I'll run to the hardware store and get a couple new ones. Let's get this on this side. Now I'm just going to take the pair of pliers I have and give them a little tightness. All right, let me get those tightened up and I'll come back. All right, well, Mrs. G took this in to the bathroom and used the shower handheld thing and got in there and cleaned it out. She says it was really nasty and clogged the drain. So you might want to think about pulling these things out. These things are a lot smaller than they used to be. Back in the day, they used to be, 2 inches and used to dump the water. So we got to put this back in, put the wash machine all back together, put it back in its spot, put the dryer back in its spot, and we are done. So that's how you put a water valve in a Maytag 3000 wash machine. I hope this video helps everybody out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and please ring that bell so you get the notifications of all my new videos. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. Bonus footage time! So here's the old water valve. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there's a lot of crap up in there. And there's a lot of crap up in this one. More so this side here. See it all in there? There is a pretty fine mesh screen. I'm probably going to tear this apart to see if there's something stuck in the water valve. Or they're just worn out. I don't know. And here's another thing on these wash machines that I'm going to do too, is up in the front here, this panel here comes off. And inside this panel, there is a drain. And the drain has a drain in case you drop pennies or stuff in it. One time something went wrong in here. I don't remember if it was exactly if it is a drain, but there might be a filter in here. I'm going to take that apart. There's the same T20 bolt here, here, and here. We're going to pull this off, get in there, and we're going to pull that drain out and see if it's clogged up too, just like that hose was all clogged up. All right, second part of bonus footage. So after you take this panel off, this is the pump that pumps the water out of the drum and out the hose here for the wastewater. So I've replaced this one time already because this thing was, the motor was cracked and started to leak. And if you notice right here, this has a handle on it so you can take this out. And on the old one, when I took this out, there was a pencil actually stuck in there. And I don't know if the pencil got in here and destroyed the motor, but we're going to go ahead and take this apart and take a peek in there to see if there's anything in there. Oh yeah, we replaced the pump. Here we go. Here's another good thing to do. My brother came over and replaced the pump while I was at work. So we always write on the machines when we replace the pump. So I'm going to write in here when I replace the water valve for the second time. So we're going to take our towel and we're going to shove it underneath there. And let me see. I don't know if I have the strength in my hands to take this out or not. Yep, there it goes. So I just broke it free a lot. And here comes the water. That's why you want to put your towel underneath it, because this is the lowest part of the machine that doesn't get pumped out. See the water flowing out of it right there? And then back there, that's the motor that spins the drum. And if you ever want to know why washing machines are so heavy, see this right here? These are blocks of concrete. There's one that goes all the way around, and that's to help keep the machine in balance. So I would have more than one towel ready. There's no other way to do this. There is no other way to do this. Just get up tons of towels, old towels. Old towels are always good to have. And I got wet. That's all right. I'm in my work clothes anyway. Is it slowing down any? So let's go ahead and... Are you still in frame? Did I knock you? No, you're still in frame. Okay. Let's go ahead and slowly... it looks like most of the water has come out. All right, let's pull this out. And let's see what we have in here. Oh, yeah. We got more scum and some lint. So... here's another thing that you need to do on these front load washers if you have it. And inside there's some more scum. There you go. Can you see it? There's some scum back there. And like I said, last time I pulled this apart, there was a pencil stuck in here. So this helps protect the pump. This sits in here like this to protect the inlet of the pump here. So that's the outlet of the drum into here, and then this pumps the water out. All right, everybody, so there's your second bonus footage. There is a screen inside the drain that you need to take apart and service on these things, I would say every couple years. All right, everybody, I think that's it for the bonus footage. Thanks for watching the bonus footage.